Oh, wait.
here and just like bullshit for a few minutes until.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how much am I allowed to swear?
I don't know. I would play like PG-13 rules, I think.
Okay, so I can say fuck once. That
Yes.
didn't count because
That
nobody's
didn't
here
count.
yet.
That didn't count.
I'm changing my thing so it is like the same as yours. What?
Oh, that's why. Oh my God. I forgot I had the YouTube live in another tab somewhere. And all of a sudden I'm like, why am I getting echo? And it was because I had it open and it just started playing. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Let's go to um so that's where so we can do this. That's I don't know if that looked any different, but if people start chatting.
I have quote. Oh, how do
So
we?
this is the combined, although you can't chat in here. I don't
No.
think you have to. I think if you in Restream, if you there's a way you can like connect it to your Twitch. So then you can type in the chat and it'll know who you are, or you could just open the
I'm just gonna
Twitch
open
chat.
Twitch.
Yeah. So this chat is actually the combined chat from YouTube and like what you're seeing overlaid here is
Yeah.
the combined chat between the two. And I kind of wanted to play with to see how this looks when people join us, which they better, because
If they don't, I'll cry, and it won't matter because there won't be anybody here to see it.
I know, but it also mess up your makeup that you're working on.
I don't. Yes. Well, no, because I'm good at putting my makeup on, and I use high quality products. So, and I have freaking eyelash extensions, so I don't have to wear mascara, and that's the biggest offender of uh, crying your makeup. Oh, there's people on Twitch.
Oh,
Well, they're not chatting yet, but they're
oh, they're
there.
viewing. I wonder why our view count is not right in Restream. There shows nobody's here, but okay, that's cool. I'll just
Unless
okay,
two, I mean, there's three people. I mean,
okay,
one
but
of them is
still,
me
okay, but that's fair. But still, we should probably start
doing something.
doing some
Hello.
stuff. Hello. All right. So welcome to PulumiVision. Oh my God! Now it says 7. Okay,
Oh,
cool. All right. So we've been sitting here like we don't have to do anything yet. Nobody's watching this damn thing, and y'all have been sitting here like, hello. You could type in the chat, and then we would know. So it's time for PulumiVision, which normally we do every Thursday, but this is a special episode known as Matty and Kat had some work to do, and we're gonna do it in the open. And this is prep for Kat. When is this workshop? We should know
this
this.
this workshop is next week. It is on the 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
I'm
10
gonna
a.m.
put it.
Pacific.
Yeah. So if you want to take the workshop that we are building, and I'm gonna put a link in the whatever you call that thing,
The chat.
the chat. That's the link to where the reg is for all that stuff. But cool. Hey, oh, look at all these friends. All right, awesome. So anyway, we're gonna start building on this workshop, and don't tempt me. Nope, we're good. And yeah, so we're gonna basically sit down. Kat, why don't you just sort of explain like the content of this workshop and what we're starting with and what we're gonna try to create?
Yeah. So
Because I would like to know.
because you would like to know. Yeah. So we are building an infrastructure as code fundamentals workshop. And we are doing this in a specific way for a specific reason. In that Pulumi has this thing called Pulumi Learn, which has a series of like self-directed learning pathways to help learn Pulumi. And we kind of wanted the workshops that we give as developer advocates to be more consistent with those learn pathways, so that workshops are effectively doing the learn pathway, but they're doing the learn pathway with a Pulumi developer advocate there to help you through it, talk you through it. And then that way, maybe, if something goes wrong, if you have trouble or whatever, we're physically there to help you. Well, virtually there to help you. And always more fun for me as somebody teaching a workshop, and when I take a workshop myself, is if something goes wrong for me while I'm doing it, which can totally happen because computers are haunted and unpredictable, you get to watch the process of me debugging a Pulumi program, which is also valuable. Or, as is usually the case, debugging my Python developer environment.
So really, it's the same kind of content, but you've got self-directed versus instructor-led, kind of, because people learn in different ways, but we'd like to have a consistent experience. So we're going to build this workshop, and there's a bunch of other workshops coming too, that some of the other DAs are doing that are built from that same stuff. So if you do go to pulumi.com/resources, I'm sure you'll find that. But let's go. And so I'm going to be. I think the way we sort of decided is I'm going to be driving, but Kat's going to be directing.
Yes.
So
I'm also going to be putting makeup on at the same time.
This
because
is partially why I'm doing the typing.
Yeah, because I said I would do that on Twitter, and it was like it was a joke, like I was joking, but then people latched onto it. So now that's a thing that I'm actually doing.
My friend Amy said she's like, I can't tune into the stream, but let me know when it's on YouTube because I want to watch for makeup tips from Kat. So we'll just ease those in. Okay. Yeah. That's
let's
turn this over to you. I am just
You're just
your
hands.
hands. Yeah.
So
Amy is here. Hey, okay. Shout out to
Amy.
Okay.
So not to be a gigantic cornball, but like we are starting from existing material as a base for this workshop, I'm also putting primer on my face, which makes sure that my makeup goes on smoothly and actually stays there. But so this workshop is called IAC Fundamentals, and I am not going to start with a whole bunch of documentation for it, though that will happen like slowly over time. That's probably just going to get lifted straight from the Learn pathway because that's mostly there, not for me when I'm directing a workshop, but for you if you decide to go through the workshop like alone later on and just like watch the live video. So it's still going to be there, but we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're not going to rewrite it. That's ridiculous. So we've got this README doc that we're probably not going to touch aside from copy pasting content into it. But Matty, the first thing we need to do is create a new Pulumi project. So you probably want a directory in there called, I don't know, workshop or my app or something. Dealer's choice.
Okay.
And so CD on into there. And we need to create a Pulumi program. So
I know you want to do it in TypeScript.
I don't want to do it in TypeScript. I know you want me to do it in TypeScript because you prefer it to Python. Okay. But the reality is that I am a bad programmer, as most programmers are. Yeah. God, I wish. Like, I want us to do more like wacky one-off languages, just like as a gag. If the lift wasn't so hard, like I would be doing that more often. So yes, we're going to do a Python project for this. So Pulumi new Python. Flag Y is the YOLO flag if you wanted to just say yes to everything that's default. But this is where all Pulumi programs start. And so that's where we're going to have people start in this workshop. It should be pretty boring looking. Matt, do we want to always give them, I don't know, I always like to give them like an example of one that is like fully coded and works in a workshop. Because like when I do these, I usually
start from the end almost.
Like, yeah, so like
I'm trying to think about how this pathway goes, because sometimes the way you're doing it, and this is okay, I'm going to actually ask you, this is an audience or viewers or whatever people.
Yeah, what do you prefer?
Friends. Well, there's that, but I have a question. So like, I remember specifically in when I used to teach chef fundamentals, we actually had a part where we intentionally introduced a defect in what the code we told you to do to then see if you could figure it out. But I always felt like that was kind of crappy.
I feel like that's kind of shitty. That feels like underhanded.
So I don't want to do that, but I do sometimes like it where you're like, you do go down a pathway where you're like, oh, this seems like it would make sense. Let's run the program. it didn't, but why not? Oh, because we have to do that. Like we've done that before. We're like, we're going to set a configuration requirement
Yeah.
and then we don't know. So that's okay because it
Right.
illustrates it. So what I'm getting at is I think the problem, if you're going to try to do progressive disclosure, which is like looking at an idea and building and building and building, starting at the end. So maybe what you might, yeah. So I don't know. I go back and forth on it. Depends on how we're approaching. If it's going to be progressive, you can't start at the end because you do have spoilers, or
Right.
but if the other way is to work backwards, which is this is the whole thing. Let's build it. It kind of flips those things around.
It
So
does. And like,
so let's see. I don't know. See. Oh my God! Look at what's happening.
what? What's happening?
gRPCIO.
Oh, have fun.
Yeah, okay. So we've got
Um,
well, it's a good thing
yeah.
we're having a lot of vamping time because
I mean, this
former
isn't vamping. This is just like
well,
genuinely like
sorry.
part of the
This is a
progress
good
for
thing we
me.
have things to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when I do workshops, I go one of two ways. I like wildly wing it and build, like I go through the workshop myself. Like I go through the steps of building it and I just talk about what I'm doing while I'm doing it. That's what I prefer to do when I'm giving a workshop. But sometimes I do like to do the backwards thing where I have like an already running whole ass demo ready to go and I just talk my way backwards through it. But
I think in this one, knowing the content, because this content was built progressively,
yeah.
there's a journey. I would follow that, right? And so we kind of have like fundamentally in this guy, because remember, it's like we're building like a multi. I almost said it's not multi-stack. I just
It's not
multi.
multi-stack, but I mean, I think there is a point at the end where we like
There's a front end,
add
there's a
stuff.
back end, there's a database, and so
Yeah.
we're building the pieces a little at a time. So it kind of makes sense to break it up that way, rather because if you look at the whole thing at the end, it's a whole lot.
You know, is this worth breaking up into lab directories?
Um,
Like lab 1, lab 2, lab 3.
I would, because I'm looking at what they are. Well, the first section is just creating that's not even really a lab.
It's not, yeah.
So I understand why for
the purposes of like a
self-guided,
self-directed it is, but yeah, it shouldn't be
you're
like
just going to do that. It's almost like just introduction when we start. So you really have two labs. You have the creating Docker images lab and the configuring and provisioning containers lab is how I would look at it.
Okay. So
hey, look at that. It finally
finally finished.
Got my stuff.
Okay. So what I always like to do with my workshops though, regardless of how I'm teaching it, I'll always have like a directory that has the fully complete code in it.
Yes.
So that like if something goes wrong, like or I forget how to type, I forget whether it's if name equals main or if name is main, which I forget all the time, even though I've been writing Python for a fucking decade. I can copy and paste from it. So what we need to get into the workshop directory is probably what?
Well, I was going to actually take a step. There's an even, I want to yes and what you just said.
Yes,
I think you want that, but you also want a checkpoint of the fully coded at the end of the lab, because that's also helpful for the people doing it. Whereas if you, just like, Brandon just said, like having the whole code there available, because maybe someone's following along in the workshop and something happens and they get behind. This lets them get caught up by looking and comparing. So I think what we're doing here is fine. Let's do this, and then, but really, what we actually end up doing. Let me riddle you this. Because if you think about it, your final finished code is really your final code of Lab 2.
It is your final code of Lab 2.
So I would almost get rid of our workshop directory.
And break it up into
Lab 1 and
Lab
2, and then let's put them together, and we can work it backwards, right? If we want to, kind of. I like it says. All right, the entire kitchen's burnt to the ground, but we prepared the cake beforehand. Look at that beauty. I see you've seen some of my demos before. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to leave. I don't care about that directory, but let's
nuke it. Yeah, Lab 1.
And because you can do the README, you can do just a README inside of it, but it's also the code maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's um okay, Pulumi. Hopefully this will go faster because shouldn't have to
Thank you,
like
Brandon.
go crazy. Yeah, there we go. Much better with it doesn't it didn't have to build GPU. Yeah. Okay, so all right, cool. Let's but also you want to work backwards from lab 1?
Yeah, we'll start with lab 1.
Okay,
So
yeah,
go
cuz
ahead.
then we'll just copy what we had into lab 2. So lab 1 is where we
Right.
start. Okay.
Yeah, so lab 1, we need a Pulumi project in there.
We got it. There's our um and if we're going a little fat, like, because we need to get so if you're watching, you've never used Pulumi before. This is not. If you've never used Pulumi before, please register and come to the workshop in a couple weeks. It won't be spoilers, but so we might skip a couple things around about what we're doing as we're going. But okay, cool. We got our basically our scaffold of a Pulumi program that does nothing at this point.
Yeah, and in the lab 1 directory, we need an app directory.
I'm just okay. Yes. Yeah, so let's see.
And we are going to.
Oh, don't we clone something into?
Yeah, we're stealing some code. So
Oh,
let
there it
me.
is. I'm going back. Okay, so
Got it. Okay.
there was nothing that we needed to do. Okay, everything that's on creating a Pulumi project in the learn path we've already done. That's just okay.
Yeah.
So we're already on to creating Docker images. Okay.
Right. Where's my liquid highlighter?
So what Kat was just saying is, so there's this the app. What we're doing here is we're building this, kind of front end, back end app and everything. But the code of the app comes from a different. We just, pulling it down from this other repo. So I'm just going to clone it into app, and then just fuss this around a little bit, and then so now if we got this is all the code for the application that we're going to deploy, and we don't really even much give a crap about it.
Yeah, it's not really.
But
super...
like if we look at, if you're interested, this is the Docker file for the backend. This is all just the stuff that gets deployed. And I think we would talk about this a little bit in the workshop, but we're not to that point even. Okay, build your Docker image with. Okay, so let's see.
When actually giving the workshop, I would absolutely be like stopping to talk through like what is going on in this Docker file, even though it's not complex and it's also not directly relevant to Pulumi, but it's good for understanding like what the hell we're building, So, because I don't like to assume the experience level of the people I am teaching in a workshop. Because
why does this not work? Why does this?
What do you mean?
Well, why does it say can't resolve Pulumi Docker? I just installed Pulumi Docker.
Because
it's not in the requirements.
It's not in your requirements.txt, but Python shouldn't care about
add
that.
the package. Oh, never mind. I see why. There's instructions in the workshop that told me to do that, and I didn't do it. There we go.
Which is a thing that I will document when I go back after this workshop and type a whole bunch of docs in the README, or rather copy paste.
Okay, now it's in the requirements.
This also might be like a VS Code weirdness thing, because there is some weirdness with.
Is it because it's in the venv, but it's not actually in my machine?
But VS Code isn't acting inside of the venv or something. Yeah. I don't know. I use Sublime Text.
Okay, well, you could be typing, but you didn't. So.
But I'm putting makeup on.
But if I just okay, all right, fair enough. Doesn't really matter for our purposes here. I can just not be unhappy about squigglies. It's fine. I will deal with it. My life will move on.
Amy confirming that there
is some weirdness with VS Code. So cool. Okay. All right. So we did this. Run Pulumi up. We don't need to do that right now.
Yeah. I would also probably.
I'm just trying to get like the final code idea into here. So,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like, so you have because I don't think we have anywhere. Okay. Add the front end client and MongoDB.
Yeah. I think I also like to
Oh, compare your program to this complete program. Okay, cool. Actually, forget all this. There we go. There's all Laura's code. Oh,
what is
so
the expected
this should be
pre
the end of this should be the state at the end of lab 1.
it is. What is the expected prerequisite knowledge of this audience? Would they already know what all of these files like requirements.txt and DIRs are for? Probably some of them will. Like if they're Python developers, they will absolutely be familiar with like venv directories and requirements.txt because those are just realities of developing in Python. But it's okay if they don't. It's that's something that is like easy for me to explain, and I usually do err on the side of like being way too careful when explaining things during workshops that are marketed towards like an introductory audience.
And it's
I will
also
go ahead.
I was just going to say this workshop is not marketed and listed as writing a Pulumi program in Python.
Yeah,
It is learning Pulumi, so it's entirely possible that you're like, I don't know Python, I actually don't care. I just need to be able to get the ideas that are coming out of it because frankly, if we were to that one of the cool things about Pulumi is you can write it in so many different languages and you can use so many different clouds and hyperscalers and stuff that if we wanted to teach a workshop on every different cloud you could use with every different language, we would need our entire team to do nothing but that ever, and even then we wouldn't have any time to do that, and that would be really disappointing for all of you who'd like to see us talk trash on Twitter.
yeah.
So there's that.
And like I like using Python for stuff like this, not just because it's my preferred language to write, but because the Python syntax is so familiar to most people just because it reads like pseudocode that even if you can't write Python, you can probably you get the idea, you know? So it's I don't know. Could I still do this workshop in like Golang? Yeah, like sure. But some of the conventions are going to be a little bit more alien to some people.
So just to back up, like the comment in the chat was saying, said I was asking mostly because one, nobody want to give a quick tour. And to Kat's point, the way we're doing this on the stream right now is we're working backwards from the code. Like we haven't built any of the curriculum yet. We're starting with, remember, we just want to get our like final point and then start writing, if you will, the speaker notes, the flow and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
hi, other Cat.
Oh,
Also,
hi, Kat.
tune in tomorrow. So Kat Morgan and Kat Cosgrove are doing a stream about, I don't know, it's probably got to do with Pulumi because why not? Other Kat Morgan, if you want to dump the info in the chat, we'll make sure everybody sees it because Kat Cosgrove her hands are full of makeup. Cool. Okay, so we have our lab 1 final state, which gives us the ability to, first of all, if we just need to check, but also if you are working on the workshop, you've got a thing to connect to. So we might as well go into lab 2. And then, so first thing is, again, we need to do a Pulumi new Python just so it builds all the stuff. Now you might say, Matty, couldn't you just actually, I probably could have just copied the lab 1 directory at the end of the day. I just realized that's what I should have done but whatever, it's fine. I like typing Pulumi new.
Do you?
Because not really, but it would be a reason. Okay, cool. And then now we will go and so our main.py.
Yoink.
So do you go dunder main dunder py? See, my problem with Python is I don't know how to say anything.
Okay, so with the like if name is main convention, you can just say if name is main and people like know what you mean. You don't have to actually
How do you
pronounce
call
the
this
dunder.
file? You just say if name is main?
Oh no, that you would just call it main.py.
Okay, so I'm saying it right when I say main.py.
Yeah, main.py is right.
Okay, that's cool.
All
right. Okay, I'm going back to the thing. Okay.
A thing that I will
I got to get the app directory. See, I should. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? That is totally what I should have done because there's too much shit in this lab 1 that it's just easier to do this. You know what I mean? Because there were too many manual steps. So because I had to get the app directory, we had to do this. Now we have all this. Theoretically, this worked until Python decides to hate me. Cool. Okay, so
Speaking
now
of doubles, I'm contouring my jawline so that nobody can see my double chin. by the way. Or well,
You are
you
you
can
are
pretend
really
it's not
reaching
there.
on some of these, but I appreciate it.
You know what? I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
I
So
decided a while ago to instead. I saw an inspirational shit post, and I decided instead of trying to be less cringe, to kill the part of me that cringes.
so
So,
that's good. But like what I was saying, you actually aren't reaching. You're making it work. So I remember at part of Swamp Up, they did this thing called DevOps Kitchen, and it was really fun.
oh,
It
I
was one of
know that was
so
fun.
so what they did is they had a bunch of the speakers. They got like this Michelin chef from France, and like we all got on a Zoom basically, and they sent us all the ingredients to make a risotto, and the chef taught us, and it was all we all filmed it, and they cut it together. But the thing that was the problem is at the beginning they're like, well, we want to make this like like they're like get like a bunch of like DevOps puns and jokes into it, like you could do whatever. And I'm like, well, first of all, it'll just happen. Like we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do
they
that.
just fall
And
out.
we were all fine, like all the speakers, but they literally obviously told this chef stuff to say, and they were the most
Ugh.
and I've studied improv, and one of the rules of improv is don't try to be funny. Right, the funny will come, but if you try to be funny, it's a joke. Okay, so we got our. I'm losing track of where I'm at here. Okay, so your program should not match this code. Create a container resource.
A thing to note with building workshops for the audience, which is the point of us doing this on screen, I will go back and comment the shit out of this code,
Yeah,
like the absolute shit out of it. Every little section of this is going to get a commented explanation on like what is happening here and why. I don't care if people don't read it during the workshop. I don't expect them to. There are things that I will explain while I'm talking in the workshop. But for absolutely anybody who just tries to go back and do it on their own or tries to do it again, it is useful to have it there in case something goes wrong in their code and they need to like figure out what's going on. Matt, you're making a terrible face.
I'm really confused. There's actually a problem in this, and I don't understand why it's happening. So in the directions in the lab, it says you need to, or in the learn, it says we have to populate first and so it says there should be a products.json in the app data directory. Oh, there it is. So
Yeah.
wait, why did it when I do cp app data products.json no such file?
What's your present working directory? Lab 2?
Yeah, so that's right.
Uh, use tab auto completion to see if you're like mistyping something.
Oh, no. Here it is. But it's I don't know
Good.
why it would care about this. No. Oh, wait, not that. Sorry. I don't get it, but I don't care right now. I'm
It could easily just be another case of VS
of
Code is
everything you hate
haunted.
about. This isn't VS Code. That's just
This is
that's
just
just
your
Zeech.
terminal.
That's just a terminal, yeah.
Do
But
you
the
say
whole point,
Zeech?
yeah.
Interesting. I say Zish.
Is this well?
Yeah. But you know what? I'm still like not over the fact that I got dragged to the moon and back over saying rimraf instead of literally verbalizing
It's
rm dash
RimRaf.
rf. It's
Yeah.
rimraf. Get over yourself. Take yourself less seriously. Just say rimraf. It's fun. Christ. Products.json isn't in app/data, is what David says.
It is though. Right there. Right?
I mean, it looks like it is to me.
Here.
Somebody's saying you should stat it, which is a good point. Tin Spoon is I'm a steel rimraff. Absolutely take it.
Okay,
You don't
well
even need to give me credit.
okay, so I think I have all the code in here now. So that's it. Okay, so you have what we have for you now, Miss Cat, is you have lab 1 and a lab 2 final state of code. which gets us to the point that now we could like maybe teach some stuff. Is an inspirational shitpost cat's middle name. It is now. Okay.
You know what? Catherine is actually my middle name. My first name is Caroline. I promise I won't look this ridiculous when my makeup is actually finished, but like,
Yeah, look, you can stat it. I don't know why I can't copy it.
well, look at the permissions. That's weird.
I don't know. We did.
You know what?
The end result is we got it done. But now the thing that'll be interesting, though, actually, to be fair, we should maybe figure this out because you're going to run into this.
I'm gonna run into this. Yeah.
Okay, so just for funsies, because this should happen.
Should happen in both places.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll be damned. It works fine in Lab 1. I wonder if it's because
of the Git directory. Is it .git still in there?
I bet it didn't come over.
Do an LSA in the Lab 2 app.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. That Git directory is not there. So again, this is not how your students are going to handle this because they're going to all have it in one place. This was all from laziness,
right?
As there's all most problems. So anyway, the end result is everything is fine. Cool. All right, what do we want to do now? So now you have your final state. And I would imagine what we want to do is inside
each of those needs a README.
A README. Yep, that's What directory am I in now? Okay.
Each of those needs a README with the instructions lifted from the learn pathway. We'll have to like double check and make sure that nothing needs to be changed accordingly to the fact that step 1 from the learn pathway has been merged into step 2 for lab 1.
Yeah, so you just need to like go here and like basically what was the first tutorial, the creating a Pulumi project.
Yeah, so that gets merged with the step 2 docs. So both become lab 1.
It's gonna be like shit like this.
It's gonna be shit like that, yeah. And making sure that we change things like the names of the application or whatever.
Why did you just do that?
Why did you do what?
Nothing. It was just it was VS Code. It like took my SH and decided to make it a bunch of squiggles for some reason, like tildes. I don't know why. What is this? Not like blanks are on headings. I hate Markdown lint, but whatever. Okay.
I have opinions about Markdown.
Oh, first line should be. Oh my god, dear God. Whatever. Okay, so
that's effectively. Yeah,
I'm trying to think about a. The thing is, this whole thing is already written in Markdown in a different repo.
I mean, I would just yoink it from there because
no, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just looking to find. I even have that repo open in a different. Who'd you call it?
Who'd you call it? Browser window tab.
Yeah, VS Code window. Okay, content. Learn. Pulumi fundamentals. Create a Pulumi project.
Looks fine.
All right, so we're gonna do this part. Okay, we don't need all this crap.
Just need that stuff, and some of that stuff has to get changed because we don't have the same directory structure. We aren't naming things the same way. There's going to be a bunch of like weird links in there.
We also don't need the chooser stuff.
Yeah.
We just do. Oh, you're wait. I'm in the right place now, right? Yeah, you all can see.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need the like. I mean, we can leave the My First App stuff. We can still call it that. There's no reason why, because they're like the directory structure on the attendees' computers will be different than the directory structure on the actual workshop. So that's fine for all that to stay, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
I contoured my nose today, which is not something I normally do. It just seemed like it would be fun.
Was it fun?
You know, I already have a very small straight nose, so like genuinely, you can't really tell that I have my nose contoured except for in like flash photography, unless I do the like really aggressive, like super sharp, narrow, like e-girl nose. And I didn't do that because I think it looks terrible on me, which is unfortunate because e-girls are adorable and I would love to be able to be that cute, but I was not blessed with the bone structure for that kind of energy. Or the high pitched voice. My voice is way too low to do the ooh woo thing. So, alas. Did you understand ooh woo, Matty?
I did. I didn't ever have not understand it. I was just asking. I thought it was when I was saying, is it possible for uwu to be used for good? That was the fundamental question I was asking you. I knew what we were talking about. I just, I needed your ruling on that. Okay, we got that. Okay, so that took care of that part.
You have a
wait. Oh yeah. Wait,
59.
hang on. Yeah. Show me you don't write Python without showing me you don't write Python. Okay, so you'll have these pieces in there, and then if I go back
There's an
to
ooh woo in the chat.
is creating Docker images. This is another one this is gonna be.
We're gonna go with really aggressive highlighter. Because we can't actually be an e-girl, but we can put highlighter on like Pulumi. Oh my god, I really want Pulumi stickers like so bad.
Well, you're in DevRel. You're a sticker engineer. Like
I am a sticker engineer.
Okay, where did this?
Y'all, and by y'all I mean chat. Chat, are you gonna be at KubeCon EU?
If you're in the chat and you're going to be at KubeCon EU in Valencia, you perk up your ears.
Can I tell them?
I have learned you're not able to keep any secret about any cool shit we're doing. So,
well, I mean,
I feel like you already, Kat, you already told 30,000 people on Twitter.
Yeah,
I think you can tell, 15 people in, the video. So,
okay, that's fair.
But it's our secret, everybody. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody. But really, no, this is good because I ordered a shitload of them and I need them to like all go away so that our boss keeps giving me money to buy stupid shit. Chat, I purchased 500 Pulumi branded cat ears to give away at KubeCon EU. Extremely limited. If you're going to be at KubeCon EU, come find me or the Pulumi booth. And if you say ooh woo, I will give you a pair of cat ears. They are very cute. I will be wearing them, but you have to say ooh woo. They're not free.
Or Pulumi.
You gotta earn them. It's like if you have to have like a substantial conversation or like do a task or something at most booths to get like the good shit, to get something more than a sticker. Like if you want socks or whatever, you have to actually talk to somebody or like do a demo or whatever. If you say ooh woo, I'll give you a cat ear.
What do you put for the language if there's no language, but you just want to make it like look different?
I
Code block.
put nothing. Like
No, but
that code.
the linter's going to complain. Oh, but this doesn't have to run through the linter. We're not putting this through our CI/CD, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
this doesn't go through our CI, so it doesn't
Okay, that's
matter.
fine. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, I would just fence it like that.
That's fine. It was more of a I wanted to do that in a blog post the other day too. That I would have to it would complain. We have a very very aggressive markdown linter in our blog posting CI/CD,
It's
and
so mean.
it is super mean. And yeah, okay, backend Docker file. Oh my
And
god.
we're contouring our nose. So we've got to highlight our nose just on the very edge. Back in the day, we used to like highlight our noses by like running highlighters straight down the whole nose, and that looked terrible. And but we thought it looked great at the time. And every time I look back at old pictures of me, I cringe a little bit. It's the eyebrows, it's the like super long nose highlight, it's using bronzer as contour. We made mistakes, folks. You can probably just find and replace for curly.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I was multi-selecting.
Okay.
The Lang host only showed up once. Lang file is twice. So
Oh, okay. Are you having fun?
am.
I mean, this is like way more entertaining than sitting here like doing this alone, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Without
We
chat to
have.
talk to.
Oh, okay. Normally do. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Rocco.
Oh, does our linter allow that,
Uh,
David?
well, as
I
long as
as-
Markdown lint does, then it'll be fine. That's all it's running. So if I don't catch it here,
I assume
so
that Raw Code Academy is David and not like.
oh, well, I think that's his YouTube login or YouTube ID. Yeah. Again, we shouldn't assume. Maybe somebody hacked him. I don't know, because
That's
that's what I would do
true.
if I hacked Dave Flanagan's YouTube. I would immediately go to the Pulumi stream and use it to heckle.
Oh God, using the base tone 2 tones darker than your skin. Yes,
Okay, that
and
worked. Thanks, Rocco.
worse. There was this thing. I mean, this is still a thing with like a certain type of person who is convinced that their skin is fairer than it is. I used to do this too in high school. I grew out of it. It's 2022. Like there is definitely a foundation shade for you. You are not as pale as you think you are, and you look ridiculous. The like face 2 shades lighter than your neck thing, that looks just as bad as the face 2 shades darker thing. Please, for the love of God, be realistic about it. Like this is Pat McGrath skin fetish in shade light 3, which is what I wear in the winter. In a couple months, when I've had some more sun exposure, I will wear light 5. And I'm pretty pale. And those aren't the lightest shades. Damn.
So what I
Also,
decided to do
go
here,
ahead.
because I realized that normally when you're doing a stream with things like this, like your code and stuff is terribly interesting. Watching me like edit Markdown is not as terribly interesting as maybe seeing everybody's comments while they listen to us talk. I was trying to find like a good layout where we can end up seeing the chat. Yeah, these are live comments. So that's the thing, because some of you are on Twitch and some of you are on YouTube, so you aren't seeing each other. So this way you can see all the comments. Like we can see that Brendan is from Twitch because he's got a little twitchy thing next to his, and whoever hacked David's account is coming from YouTube. Because I continue to have the headcanon that Rocco's YouTube got hacked today.
I'm just gonna believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
you
that's just
YouTube, yeah.
yeah, YouTube.
So I think there's a lag to getting to the
There
live
is.
comments because you all don't know why we're laughing. If you're on YouTube, you don't know why we're laughing at Brandon right now.
Should we wait like a polite like 20
Well, I think I would
seconds
wait till you see them in the
thing? Okay. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I mean that's the point of it.
Oh, it's the Twitch delay. Well, no. So
delay.
maybe because the comments coming from Twitch. I don't know. Now I'm really confused. I just want to see if mine are showing up in the. Yeah, now the comment bar
Yours do.
is. No, but are you seeing them in the
Oh my God, David
stream?
doesn't know what uwu is.
Oh dear God. Date. Okay.
David.
Wow. Okay. So blah blah blah.
David, that's not very uwu of you, buddy. Can I send you a TikTok? Ew, David.
that was well done.
Was that pretty good? Thank you.
I'm also impressed that for as long as David's been on our team, which has been like
a few months, right?
More than a few months. It's been like 6 months. I think that might have been the first time that's happened. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I just missed it before, but that seems like missed opportunities.
David's followed me on Twitter for like years.
No, but I mean the first time it's happened like in a cowork, like in us as colleague. You'd think that there would have been opportunity for an ew, David.
Ew, David.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna look for him now, even though what, y'all, I actually don't fucking like Schitt's Creek. I'm sorry.
That was your one. That was
my one.
Yeah.
It was worth it. I think that show is so wildly overrated. Like, I know, Matty, you love it. I did my damnedest, but I like the whole time I was just like, these people are awful. It's a show about awful people and they have no redeeming qualities and they keep getting away with how terrible they are. FCC rules don't apply, Brandon. It's just that like Matt asked me to PG-13 it, which means I only get to say the F word once.
So why is this choosable? Oh, that's weird how I have words for Christian. He like did this in weird order. The chooser, sometimes he did TypeScript first and sometimes he did Python first.
Did Christian do this one?
Christian did the TypeScript.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. The chat overlay is super laggy. It's super behind. I think. For me at least. Like when I'm looking at it, right, Kat, am I correct? Like look in the screen share, or not the screen share, but you should see in Restream, right? Doesn't it look like the last update that I see in the stream overlay is David? Oh no, I'm dumb. I'm reading top to bottom instead of bottom to top.
Matty, but you're pretty. Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why I was like, they're not updating it. It's because I was expecting new comments to be at the bottom, not at the top. So now I feel much better about everything.
I mean, it is a little bit weird that it's inverted.
Yeah. Whoa, what just happened here? Let's Copilot? No. Oh, it like fenced something. It was weird. Okay, let's see. That all looks fine. That's what I just want to get rid of. Chooser language.
Everything's haunted. But you know what? We're going to have eyebrows soon, folks. And that's what matters.
Oh my God, this is a pain in the ass.
My favorite part of having eyelash extensions is that if I'm like super lazy, all I have to do is put on some like brow gel and a mask. And the fact that I have like moderately presentable eyebrows and big eyelashes makes people think that I have my shit together because they can't see the rest of my face. So not there's anything wrong with going out without makeup on. I do that all the time. But if I feel like I need to look vaguely presentable, but I don't want to put makeup on, eyelash extensions. They're revolutionizing laziness for me.
Yeah, David, 8-second delay, that's fine. But I was expecting, because I was reading them wrong, I was like, it's been 20 minutes since the last chat that went in there.
So,
well, actually, what I would do next time, it says have a script to pre-process the chooser, is I would go back to the commit on this file before Christian added the TypeScript, and it was all just Python, and I could just, which is what I should have done.
Yeah, so remember that when you do yours.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not doing any.
You're not doing one?
No. The next one is Laura, and then it's David. And actually, Laura is, David, if I recall correctly, is content that doesn't even exist on Learn yet.
It is, yeah.
It's a new Learn path. David is doing, yeah. So David, although I know Rocco, he's already written some thing that he's going to run in a Kate's cluster that will create his content for him. So we don't need to tell, no one has to tell David how to do this stuff. He's going to do it 30 times better and write an API. Okay.
Yeah. And also, like, that's, I don't know. That's a good thing about our DevRel team. We all approach our jobs in very different ways. And David makes us all look like bad programmers, though. Like, which is, totally fair. I don't write production code anymore for a reason. Like, I haven't been an engineer in 3 years, 4 years, 4 years. But, somebody on the team has to write passable code. You do need to probably get rid of these, like, docs links.
Yeah, I'm going to. I wanted to go. What I'm doing is the big broad stroke of like the code block, the TypeScript code block.
Yeah.
And let's see.
So, folks, sometimes building a workshop is just like kind of a bunch of tedious shit like this. And you can, like, yes, Matty could have like probably saved some time by going back to the commit where Christian updated things to TypeScript and just yoinked that. Yoinked a commit before.
But I also don't know if other things were updated and changed after that too, that not necessarily just doing that. Like I would have to, I happen to think that is true in my head, that we didn't add anything more, but I also know we've been troubleshooting some stuff in this learn path. So, yeah. Okay. Choose your language. I have a question for the audience and stuff. So, like, okay, what was like one of your most favorite workshops you've ever taken, and like what made it really helpful to you?
Oh yeah, like not necessarily like the product or whatever, but what stood out about the way the workshop was presented. Personally, like Gitpod has been my discovery of Gitpod has been a crazy useful thing for me in teaching workshops, because I know that my students have a functioning environment that has all of the prerequisites they need. I don't have to deal with like the differences between their machines, because it's all just like some shit running in a browser window, right? Which is great. Any workshop is helpful if I can interact with the workshop giver and ask questions. Yeah, for sure. I have allowed my workshops to be pre-recorded before. Like I gave a workshop live, and then the recording was rerun for like inconvenient time zones for like APAC. But I don't like letting that happen. Like specifically because I need to be able to answer questions for people, and it's awkward in that situation because like
you do know that happens for all of our workshops here.
I know
they're not rerun though that way. It's not like they're just available on demand after.
They're available on demand is totally different. This was run as live, so like the audience was under the impression that it was live, and I think that's awkward because they're then listening to a recording of me answering questions that weren't asked, which can still be useful information if it was a good question, right?
And you're like, how come nobody answered my question?
Yeah,
and it's just because you aren't actually here.
Because I'm not actually there, and yeah, so I don't like letting that happen. But also, I don't like having to give a workshop at like 3:30 in the morning. So what's the solution there?
I want to reply to just something that came up in the chat. So Brendan was like, you could use it when you're talking about using Gitpod. I want to actually explain why we're not using Gitpod for this particular workshop. This particular workshop actually uses Docker. You're configuring Docker, so there's kind of a Dockerception that would be going, because with Gitpod, what it's doing is it's running in a container. So I don't think it would work terribly well, because you can't really. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't really run Docker inside of a Docker container.
So you can, but
probably not in the way we want to for this.
Yeah, not in the way we would want to for this. You would run into some weirdness with like binding hosts.
That has nothing to do with what we're trying to teach.
Right. Like it.
You'd spend a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. You would spend a lot of time like setting this up to work in that specific way. And the Docker file would start looking really fucking weird and unrecognizable. And it would be a lot of time having to explain like why this Docker file looks so weird just so that we could run it in Gitpod. Like, so unfortunately, no, this one can't be run in Gitpod, but it's fine. It's fine assuming everybody is on a Mac or Linux, actually, because there's a lot of weirdness with Docker on some versions of Windows, which sucks. And that's just not a thing that you can like control for, aside from knowing that like Docker doesn't run right or doesn't run at all on some versions of Windows, right? I think as long as you're running like Windows 10 Home or Pro, it's fine. I could be wrong about Home, but it's like earlier versions.
So
LOL.
one thing that just occurred to me as a bit of a just a thing we should follow up on, Kat. We need to go into the workshop page, like especially the reg page or the description. We need to make sure that people know because there are prereqs for this, because it's not going to be just run it in your browser. So we can, you know what I mean? We should just
We'll do that after this.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it right now. That was a to do. So everybody tweet at me and Kat like tomorrow and say, did you go update the workshop description prereq, so we don't forget. That's sort of the story with that. So cool. Okay. We are coming up close to the end. So that actually worked out pretty good. Okay, I'm going to do you a favor, Kat, because this fundamentally is your workshop, not mine. What did I just do?
I don't know. What did you just do?
I don't know. I tried to.
I put setting spray on my face.
Okay.
Which is a thing that melts the like layers of your makeup together, like your powder to your blush and your foundation and shit, and kind of makes it look like one layer instead of a powdery weirdness or whatever. Makes it stay longer. Looks nice. Yeah.
By the way, I am YOLOing this right into Maine for you, but I'm pretty sure that's fine.
I mean, go for it.
I was like,
offended.
I don't think I need to put a PR into your very empty repo.
Can you also sign your commits, please?
I do.
Actually, I would prefer if you forked it and made a PR from your fork.
I'm gonna be like,
you're gonna fly over here and slap me.
No. You're laughing, but well, actually, I don't know. I've never really seen Kat laugh. That's not really the vibe, but
I've never seen Kat laugh. Holy shit, dude! I'm so goth. I'm positive you've seen me laugh.
No,
before.
I'm just.
But great line.
Yeah, it worked for my point. There you go. Sign commit. Also, smartass. Sign commit.
Did you sign the commit?
Yeah, so did you.
Did I?
Yeah. Your initial commit. Oh, because you did it.
I did it from
GitHub.
Yeah, I did it from GitHub. Though I did actually sign a commit today because I had to open a PR against the Kubernetes website.
Mine are always signed. I just have my Git client configured to do that.
See, here's the thing.
That way.
I do on my my personal laptop, but I hate GPG and I don't want to fight with it. So if I am like committing something from my work laptop, it's not signed.
That's fair. That's the one, getting that in sync. Oh man, I ruined the whole thing. I was going to be all smartass, and I did my usual restream problem, which is you share your screen, but then you have to actually add it. So by the way, this is what I was giving Kat a hard time about, is that both her commit and mine are verified. So that was the joke with that. So I like it.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you for your support.
If you sign commits, you're effectively signing SHA-1 hashes. It is broken by design. Good times. All right, awesome. Well, so good fun times on the stream. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. A couple.
I'm almost done with my makeup too, so this is like
look at you do that. Thanks. Super great.
So
tomorrow there's lots of like fun ways. If you basically want more of me and or Kat, actually you're not going to get both of us together, but earlier in the day, you can have Kat Squared. You can have Kat Cosgrove and Kat Morgan, who are going to be doing. What are you doing?
We're doing a Kong and Pulumi
I know, but you have like
webinar.
a yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna get the.
We are using Pulumi to stand up a whole bunch of Kong resources.
Why
It's
is this
pretty.
not on our? Oh, there it is. I got it. Okay, so here I will drop the link in the chat.
Also,
Kat,
yeah, Kat's right.
Morgan
We
says,
don't
yeah,
know what we're doing. Let's be honest. It's because we are like very cool and smart,
yeah.
and we are going to wing it.
Is there a schedule or something we can look at? Cool. Actually, there is. So if you go to pulumi.com/resources, well, you'll see those webinars and stuff. The other thing is, so if you are on whatever thing, Twitch, follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us on YouTube. That'll get you on our live streams. So tomorrow, at basically the same time but an hour earlier, I'm going to have Allie Diamond, who is at Lacework, and she's going to come on and we're just going to mess around actually with Python again. But we don't really know what we're going to do, and it might have to do with Pulumi, it might not, but it's definitely going to be chaotic. And if you know Allie, you should come as no surprise. So join us for that. But yeah, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch. I got that right, right? Yep. I know they do
Yeah,
things, and we'll see you all on the internet. Kat, thanks for you're like, yeah, thanks. This is what we're gonna do anyway. Basically, this is what Kat and I are gonna do this afternoon. You just
yeah.
got
We had to do this anyway, so it's just
yeah,
well, let's do it on
just
the
do it so
internet.
everybody can see. So
Yeah.
yes, uwu.pi.
Pie.
Thanks, Brent.
Mm.
This is messing up. There we go. Okay, cool.